right, all right. Hello, everybody. How we all doing? Olaf is coming in hot saying, whoa! Probably just amazed by like all the team challenge results that are on screen for the last team challenge. Looking freaking kick-ass. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. We're here today for the next team challenge though. So expect the next batch of absolutely stunning environments to be flashing across your screen while we get started here in just a little bit. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day going through all the entrants, having a look at who's the winner of both of our categories. So we have two categories, stylized and realistic, and we'll have like a winner in each. Hey, Lloyd is popping in. Good to see you, Lloyd. Happy to see you here. Would be good to see the final results as Lloyd. Haven't seen any of the progress, so this is going to be great. Yeah. I honestly, there's a part of me that is like, I get to have like the front row seats, you know, like I'm really excited. But there's also a part of me that just wants to be like absolutely surprised by the end results. So yeah. 4 FPS? Oh no. Is it happening for everyone else as well? If so, let me try out some stuff. Luna is so excited. Katrina saying hello. Hello, Katrina. Artyom, hello from Kazakhstan. Hello from Kazakhstan. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, we'll see if the issues with the stream. It is very demanding on my PC right now, but we'll make it through. If you're running into issues with anything, feel free to let me know. So Darson is saying there's a lot of lag. Okay. The stream seems to be cutting off. Oh no. Okay, let's try some stuff. Let's give a try. Okay, sorry about that. Seems like we're running into a couple of issues here and there. So we're gonna see if we can resolve those before we get started officially. Video lag, the voice is fine. Okay, that's good to know. So it's just video lag then. Let me know if it's still happening. That would be great. Brigitte in the chat. Love to see you here, Brigitte. Okay, let me try some stuff in the background here as well. Let's go. We're turning down the quality for our judges. Sorry about that, judges. Let's see. Okay, let's say we give this a try and see if that works. Unacceptable? Angelo, no, how dare you be in two places at once? How dare you? Let's see. Well, while you're in there, Angelo, is it still going slow? It's still a slideshow. No, Lloyd. Still lagging? Okay. I'm not getting any errors anymore though, so that's weird. Let's potentially give it a little bit. Let's see. Still lagging. I think we might have to do some like last minute adjustments again, and I might have to stop streaming for the judges. So that does mean that I'm gonna have to make some like last minute changes as well. Dang it. Okay, sorry about that. Let me, much better. It's working now? Wait, I don't know if it's, oh no. Now, I just cut off the live stream as well for the judges, and I don't know if it's because of that or because I turned it down. It's better now. Oh my god. I think there is a long delay on the stream. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna start streaming again. I'm gonna turn it down to low, low, low. Okay, sorry about that, people. Bear with me. Seems to work. Okay, seems to work. I turned it back up now. If there's any other issues, then we'll see. Hello, Crumpet. I love your name. I was literally saying this before we started the whole thing, that we are gonna have technical issues. And here they are. So the chat is delayed by like a minute. I think there's so much lag in the chat as well. I know. I honestly, this is a gripe that I have with YouTube, like that I try to stream it and then there's always a delay, even though I say specifically to add no delay, there's still a delay, like quite significant as well. Okay, we're gonna give this a go, honestly. I think I'm not seeing any issues anymore. You get the issues out of the way now, no issues later. Exactly, that's my thinking behind it as well. Exactly. Okay. Hello, Sean. Good to see you. That being said, let's kick this off. So, welcome everybody. Like I said in the beginning, this is the live stream where we reveal the winners and all the hard work that got into like the last 5 weeks. In the background, we've had 14 teams that have been working away for 5 weeks to make like absolutely beautiful environments. And today it's basically the culmination of everything. All the hard work, we're going to be showing it off today. So yeah, let's dive right in. Lloyd is saying, at least we know it's live. Yeah, or maybe this is like pre-recorded technical issues, you know. Cool, so like I was saying, so we organize these team challenges to basically bridge a gap between like students and people that are trying to get into the industry and give them like actual credible like team experience, right? So we have 5 people for a team. We have 14 teams in total, and they work on an environment for 5 weeks, right? So that's the basic gist of it. We basically go from all the way to the beginning to all the way to the end in like just 5 weeks. So keep that in mind as you see like all the environments that we're going to be talking about today. So before we go into like all the awesome stuff, let me introduce some of the teams, like some of the people that are behind like all this stuff happening as well. So starting with the organization, so we have myself, myself in charge of like the coordination of the whole thing, basically overseeing it from like the higher perspective, and I'm trying to help with source control and other urgent matters as well, as being a part of like the mentor team as well, which I'll introduce in just a little bit. Then we have Sunny. Sunny is doing basically all the team coordinations, helping with general questions, and also heavily involved with all the setup and basically all the back-end work. So all the stuff that you see here, the presentation, all the team boards, like all the Miro boards, all that kind of stuff. That's all Sunny's magic. And then we have Luis Mesquita, who is helping us with source control as well, and is always open for some more general questions too. Sunny actually felt that he was kind of missing out, so we gave him a fake sunglasses. So enjoy the sun, Luis. Okay, so I mentioned mentors. So let me introduce you to all of them. Lewis is also a mentor, and he's currently like an environment artist at Torn Banner Studios. Well, not actually anymore, because he recently moved. So it's really fresh. He's at a different studio now, but you know, by sign up date, he was still at Torn Banner. Then we have Ben McDonald. He's a senior environment artist at Expression Games. Lovely to see your little cute dog there, Ben. Love it. We have Diane Picot, environment artist at Black Shamrock Games. We had lovely conversations because we were basically co-mentoring some of the teams, and it was like a great experience. So that was awesome. We have myself, of course. I, apart from running Beyond Extend, I also am a senior environment artist at Playground Games. Then we have Yunho Chen, who's a world artist at That's No Moon. Lovely to have you with us for this challenge, Yunho. We have Scott Daniel Burns, environment artist at Flix Interactive, doing a great job of keeping like the teams motivated as well. And then I think last but not least, we got lead vehicle artist Owen Westfield Bell, one of my old colleagues that I started the games industry with. Currently working at Cloud Imperium Games, doing some amazing vehicle stuff. So yeah, that's the mentor team, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, there we go. So the mentors, basically, just to give like a quick overview of what the mentors are, is they are responsible for basically the day-to-day. So it's something new that we introduced in this team challenge, where we have like weekly check-ins that they have to be a part of, but they can also be more involved with the teams as well if they want to. Like really picking up like the conversations, making sure that the team is doing good, making sure that like everything is kind of aligned. They kind of have, you can kind of see it sort of like as a weird mix between like a producer and like an art director-ish kind of position. So yeah. And then we have the judges. So the judges are completely separate from that. They are only responsible for the final bit. So basically what this whole presentation is built around is they look at all the work. They look at all the work that has been submitted, and then they get to decide based on like a ranking system, like how good some of the pieces are compared to other pieces. Then what we do in the background is we take all of that, basically all those scores and those rankings, we put them together, and that's how we build up who won, who's the second place, who the third place. So that all comes out of that. So without further ado, we've got senior lighting artist here, Angelo Siflas. Welcome to the chat. Hello, there you are. Sorry, I forgot to unmute you for a second.
Okay. Thanks for the invite, Tim. Yeah, super happy to be here.
Awesome. It's awesome to have you, man. Give us a little bit of an introduction, because I can hardly keep up. Like you've participated and you've also been a judge before, right?
Yeah, I think I was first a judge, and then at some point I decided, yeah, this is too cool to just judge, and I'll join in the action. So yeah, the environment that you see, I guess on the screen is from an old team challenge, and yeah, now I'm back to judging.
Awesome.
But yeah, this time was even harder, so many good teams, so many good entries.
Yeah, we definitely made it difficult for the judges. I mean, I say we as in like, oh, I have a hand in all of this. Like the teams definitely made it like really difficult this time around. So yeah, to their credit. Yeah, happy to have you on board, Angelo. Lovely to see you back.
Likewise.
Then we have the next person here, Leia. Hello, Leia.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Leah, and I'm super happy to be here. So thank you again for the invite. And yeah, I work at Frictional Games as lead 3D artist, and I also create Houdini tech demos with side effects.
Awesome. Lovely to have you here, Leia. I think this is not your first time judging either, right?
Right. Yeah, I was here before a couple of years ago, I think.
Oh God, time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying to Angelo as well, like it's so hard to keep track of like all these moving pieces, so many people taking part, especially at this scale. We've really grown the team challenges now. I think this time around we had 120 people apply, and then I think out of that group we've had 75 people that we decided to go with this time around, which is crazy. Like it just started with like 2 teams, in the beginning, just having fun. Cool, but yeah, happy to have you on board, Leia. And then there is a third person who unfortunately couldn't be here, but he was heavily involved in the judging. So it's always 3 people that we pick for the judges. Unfortunately, Alistair could not be here, but Alistair is a senior environment artist at Electric Square himself. Thank you so much for helping out with the judging. And yeah, next time we can figure something out to make this work. But yeah. Let me introduce something that is just like in between before we get started with like all the teams. Just like a quick overview of some of the awards that we also grant the teams as well. This is not like a decision from the organization alone, by the way. This is also something that we decide based on like mentor feedback or team feedback. You'll see that just in a sec. I'll explain more about that as we go along. But basically,
It sounds like the perfect time for me to jump in, Timothy.
Go ahead.
Hi, y'all. Hello from behind the scenes. And so we're going to be talking about the awards a little bit here. First of all, congrats on making it to the finish line. This time, every single team made it to the finish line, and I could not be more proud. So similar to the previous team challenges, to spice things up for this finale live stream, we'll be showcasing a variety of individual and team awards, which are pictured here. And we're also introducing a new category of awards, which is Judges Awards. And per style, meaning stylized and realistic, each of our lovely judges selected a standout team that in their eyes showcased the strongest skill in categories of lighting, visual storytelling, composition, and theme. So that's a little bit of an addition to our award system here, and we're hoping that you enjoy it. That is on top of the individual and team awards, which were also present in the last team challenge. Now, without further ado, we can take a look at all of the entries, and I'm so excited.
Thank you, Sonny. That was awesome. Let's have a look, shall we? So these are in chronological order. So we're just going to go through them one by one. So let's have a look at the first team, which are called Stationary Wagons. So we're going to start out with the stylized teams. They're always, they basically always get to go first. So this is Team 1, Stationary Wagons. Let's have a look at what they created. So this is a team made out of 4 people. Lim, Nikita, Jerry, and Gina are in this team. And they created this lovely King's Cross inspired station. Really interesting masher styles. But yeah, I'll hand it over to Angelo. What do you think about this first team to kick it off?
Ooh. Yeah, first of all, I love the character and the like unique personality of the scene, like, and the use of colors that the team put on is like super good. Yeah, also like the different like little banners here and there to add like a bit of flair. And yeah, like the lighting is interesting, like with a nice, as I said, yeah, use of colors, like different, like warm tones and like contrasting with the background environment, which is more like in the cool side of things. So yeah, awesome work.
Nice one. I'll hand the mic over to you, Leia. What are your opinions on this piece? How did you like it?
Oh yeah, I had a very similar impression as Angelo. Like, I like a lot the idea of combining the older architecture style with futuristic elements, especially some of the windows and the roof shapes. They're really cool, and I think it directly tells a story about this place. So there's a lot of potential here.
Nice. I can't say too much because I'm biased because yeah, I used to live in Cambridge, so you know, if a train goes to Cambridge like that, that's immediately just like a couple of extra points for this team. But yeah, I would say the same thing. I think this team kind of struggle a little bit to kind of push it over the finish line because we do see like a couple of missing textures here and there, which is kind of unfortunate. But again, like to keep it in mind, like it's 5 weeks, it's really intense. You also get put into a team that is just never met before, and you have to then get together and make something that is cohesive in 5 weeks as well, which is really difficult to do. So yeah. But yeah, I do agree with some of the points that were brought up. There's a lot of potential here still. So if the team wanted to work on it afterwards as well, that would be pretty interesting. Nice.
Can I just say one
Yeah.
small thing that I loved?
Mhm.
After a while, I noticed the default mannequin was still in the scene.
Mm.
I don't know if that was intentional, but yeah,
Scale
worth noting.
reference.
Yeah. Scale reference, yeah. I didn't pick that up until now. So yeah, thanks for pointing it out. Awesome. Okay. Moving on to the second stylized team. This team is called Control Forward. Taking it into a different direction, going into something that is yeah, really interesting. So let's start out with a little video to kind of kick things off, just to give you like an impression of all the different elements that are coming together. Really bold choice in my opinion, to go with something with a water element. Water in any scene is not really that easy to make it look good, but I think this team did a really good job at it. And I think, yeah, the result kind of speaks for itself. Yeah, handing it back to you, Leia. What are your thoughts?
Right, I absolutely love the colors and composition, and I think it looks very balanced. I'm a big fan of the combination of the warm tones with red and orange and the blue water. So yeah, that's really cool. I like it.
Nice. What do you like about this piece, Angela?
Oh, many things. Yeah, the lighting, the composition. I love how it's like super focused in terms of like the focal point, like having the gold rays, like guiding exactly to where we need to look. I love the subtle caustics throughout everywhere. Like I think it's mostly noticeable only in the cinematic. But yeah, love the water tech like material. Super nice work.
Nice one. Yeah, you can see the caustics kind of like in this screenshot, like really beautifully, like just casting on the walls as well. It looks really nice. I'm also a big fan of just the roots that are kind of coming out of like all different locations, and it seems like it just adds like this natural chaos to the whole scene, where you just have like roots coming out of like different windows at different angles. It just makes the whole scene feel like really natural as well. So that's looking amazing. Boborb is saying, let's go. And Route 1 actually coming into the chat says, I actually thought this was a painting. Yeah, it kind of has that painterly quality to it, right? I think the team did a really good job, and it was fantastic seeing it like all come together. When I get a little bit nosy. Yeah, nice. So this is also a perfect opportunity for me to kind of show off like what we meant before with the awards. So you can see on the left, we have the different like judges awards. And both Leia and Angelo actually gave this team like the best lighting award. A little side note, these awards are split between the two categories, right? Just to remind ourselves of that it's not the best lighting overall for the entire challenge, but it's thematic specific. So yeah, I think Angelo, you said a lot about like the beautiful lighting already. Is there anything that you might want to add to this then, Leia, from your side?
Well, I love the lighting. It looks great. I think that it works really well that the monkey statue in the middle is highlighted. I mean, if we come to maybe some improvements that you guys want to do after the challenge, I think we could even push it further by adding a few light rays that come into the water so that we guide the eye more towards the waterfall and have a nice flow towards the monkey face. And yeah, just the colors are really, really nice. Everything works well together with the warm sun rays.
Yeah, nice. Talking about like improvements to be made, do you have something that you want to add from your side as well, Angelo, to help the team push it even further if they wanted to?
I mean, I got a few minor notes. Mainly when it comes to the cinematic, like I would tweak the waterfall shader a tiny bit because I could notice it was moving, like the what position offset like value was, I guess, the scale too large. So that's a tiny bit of thing that I would add, and maybe in general like dynamic like elements in the scene. So like those vines that you mentioned already, they could perhaps be a bit animated with the wind. The vines a bit swaying with the wind. Same with the lily pads. So these little bits of detail here and there, just to make it pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I 100% agree on like the dynamic elements as well, where you have these, especially these like lanterns, I guess I'll call them, or like these plant pots that hang from like the long ropes from the ceiling. It would be nice to have the whole thing just kind of like sway like a little bit, because right now only the plant moves, but the rest of it actually stays like really static. So yeah, there's a huge amount of opportunity in this scene to actually add more movement as well. You could potentially do something really interesting with the emissive elements behind the monkey as well. That you can have like some sort of like, I don't know, emissive panning texture that just adds like some brighter spots and some duller spots in some cases. That could potentially be interesting. But yeah, the team has done a fantastic job though. A lot of really interesting materials coming together. And yeah, I think like Leia and Angelo actually said, just the color combination, right? Like the colors coming together look like they work really well. So yeah, great job. I don't know if you mind me stealing your notes, Leia, but you mentioned that it was like very reminiscent to Jasmine Habazai Fekri's work.
Yes.
Yeah, and it honestly it reminded me so much of her hippo temple, right?
Exactly that one. Yeah.
It is so good. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get inspired, you might as well get inspired by the people that like really set the bar really high. So awesome. We're not done with some of the awards though, because Alistair comes in and basically gave this team the best thematic award. So the thematic award is basically for the team that in their opinion like nailed the thematic, the thematic of echoes of the past, like really nailing that. And also to come back to some of the other awards as well, we have a team award. So this is basically whenever we ask feedback, we also allow the team to nominate another person or give feedback to another person in an anonymous way. The team actually wanted to make sure that like Vanessa really stood out because she was the backbone of this team. So the team wanted to let Vanessa know that Vanessa did a killer job leading and working on cohesion in general. So amazing job, Vanessa. That is awesome. Cool. Moving on to the next team then. We've got team number 3, the Alphas. A very domineering name for something that is so cutesy overall. I love the contradiction already. Let's start out with a little video here. I personally love some of the dynamic elements here, like really making use of some of those like pieces of tarp and cloth, and yeah, the team did a really great job. Personally, totally not biased at all. I love that the Beyond Extent logo is included on the truck as well. You know, always love that. But yeah, I'll hand it over to Angelo. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, good thing you're not judging, Tim.
That's exactly why.
But yeah, no, I love the scene. I can see the love that it was given on each individual asset. I was very impressed with the like overall asset quality consistency. So everything feels like it was made like by one artist. So like that's super tricky to get. And yeah, the team did an absolutely great job at that. Yeah, super happy with the storytelling, the grass foliage, the grass material. I'm very specific about that, but I loved it. And yeah, the lighting is very focused as well, and it gives you like a lot of things to think about, and like directs you exactly where you need to in the different shots of the cinematic.
Route 1 in the chat is asking, oh, extra points for the Beyond Extent logo? I'll see what I can do in my chats with the organization about this, maybe. And Bobo was saying, nice atmosphere in this one. Yeah, 100%. What about your side, Leia? What do you think?
I think the storytelling here is fantastic. I love the eye for all the details. Like I looked at this image a long time, just looking at all the different stickers. There's a bird sticker. I like that one especially. And also funny, the grass was also one of the first things that stuck out to me as well, because it can be kind of hard to make stylized grass look good, I think, and it works well here. I think, the shader is on point, modeling, texturing work feels on point as well. If there's like two super nitpicky things that I can point out for improvements is when I like look at the scene from a distance, like as a small thumbnail, I feel like the foreground kind of feels a bit washed out towards the background, and I think it's because the fabric at the entry of the car has kind of the same color as the background, so maybe that could be a different tone, and then it has better separation between foreground and background. But that's like super nitpicky stuff. So I like the scene a lot overall.
Yeah, nice. And let's dive into like your points of feedback then, like if you were to give any, Angelo.
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, a moment. I tried turning off the room lighting, but yeah, it didn't work. I don't have too much feedback about this one, to be honest. My main one would perhaps be on the color grading side. Like the team used like fog in a very like effective way to like sell the sense of depth in the scene. But yeah, it ended up like washing out the colors a bit, in my opinion. So I would just go back, like try to push those colors with grading a bit to get some more vibrancy and pop in the scene.
Yeah, those are all really good points. Something that the team can like easily fix, right? It just doesn't take too long. No, like both good points from like both of you as well. Like I said, I'm kind of in the fortunate position now that I don't really have to give feedback because some of it would be really hard. I feel like the barrier, like the bar is so high now with some of these pieces that genuinely a rough time on giving feedback. But yeah, just to add my 2 cents, not to the feedback, but just I love like all the quirky little details, you know, like the weird looking fish like on top of like the doorway, like all the stickers, like there's so much. I think Leia said it best. Like you can just look at the scene itself and then you can still see like, oh, there's like this cool little thing. There's this cool little thing. You can just like keep picking it apart if you wanted to. which is awesome. I love that.
I want to hear the story behind the baby sticker now. It's in the back.
Wait, what? What behind the back?
Yeah, there's like a sticker with a baby face on it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. See, there's like a what is it? There's like a monkey like picking his nose. There's a bird. There's a the baby. There's so much cool stuff in here. I love it. Yeah, job really well done, team. Awesome. I had the feeling that Nina, if we're talking about the same Nina, it has to be a shout out to Nina Kloss, I'm assuming, right? As soon as there's anything, no pun intended, but like fishy involved, like she's gonna be a part of it, you know? So if that's where the influence comes from, awesome. I think Harry in the chat also said that is my grass. So Harry is really proud on the grass that he made, and yeah, all the reason to be proud of it. Like, it looks awesome. So yeah, job well done, team. Thomas is coming in with some harsh criticism. He says could use more fish though. So yeah. So if you make another scene, you know, team, just add like 200% more fish, you know, to help Thomas out here. Awesome. All kidding aside though, like, amazing job, team. Let's see. We do have some awards though for this team as well. Taking away best storytelling from Leia and Angelo. It seems like you're both really aligned in terms of awards, which is also like, just to give some background to that. They can't see each other's awards, right? So there was no conversation happening there, or no like secret, I don't know, secret conspiracies happening. This is just, yeah, honest to God, their own awards. So yeah, both Leia and Angelo both gave them best storytelling. And then Angelo gave this team best lighting and best composition as well, from all the awards that they got for the stylized teams. So yeah, I don't think there's anything to necessarily add here. I think you both really put it like so beautifully that it's just, you can just keep looking at this, right? And that's where like good storytelling comes from, is that you can see it from like a surface level and you can keep going and peel back the layers of the onion. It is so good. Any final thoughts on this team then from any of you? No?
No, not really. I think
It's all good.
the work speaks for itself. Yeah.
I think so too. That is honestly like the best praise that you can give someone, right? So with that being said, let's go on to team number 4, Perlin Bois. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last stylized team as well. So let's have a look. Got a beautiful cinematic here. Got like all the fish swimming around. Interesting take on the thematic as well. I was the mentor for this team, so obviously I can't say too much because I'm biased. But yeah, it was really amazing to see like the team come together and having the conversations that they were having. Just to be more open about this team, there were moments where we jumped in and they were having such constructive conversations already between them that the job for myself and then also Diane, who we like co-mentored with, that we could just like sit back and just pitch in where needed, rather than being the people like driving the conversation. So that was amazing to see. Just a shout out to the team for that. But yeah, beautiful little piece. I'll kick it over to Leia. What do you think?
Oh, I love the dynamic composition here. I think this feels awesome, and we have more fish, you know, so that's awesome as well. And what I like particularly, you already mentioned it, kind of that it's a very interesting take on the topic, because for me it feels like we are actually currently witnessing an echo of the past happening, because the place feels like it has been recently flooded and it's not, already overgrown with algae or anything. And I really like that. It feels like a fresh take. And again, the composition and lighting, it looks awesome. And it just caught my attention on first sight immediately. So really good job on that. Yeah, and for feedback, I think the only thing that I notice is maybe for the tree in the foreground that you could use some more details. So we could have some branches here and maybe more fluffy looking leaves. And maybe also some details for the treehouse. This like nitpicky feedback again, but some little nails here and there that hold the wood together. I think it looks great overall.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. The tree went through like a lot of iterations, but I think your feedback is still like really valid. I would have the same sort of feedback as well. But yeah, the team did a fantastic job, like really selling the scene itself. And I love what you said about like that it is like a really unique spin on the formula, because it seems like it is currently happening, right? So in that case, like it's echoing currently, which is like really interesting. So that's beautiful. What about your end, Angelo? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely echoing whatever Leah said, and it really evoked my curiosity as soon as I saw it. And yeah, the composition, all of the shots were like super good. I loved the dynamic elements of it, like the fish, the caustics, all of the assets like floating around. And yeah, if I had like to give out any feedback, it would mainly be the tree. Yeah, it felt a bit not empty, but yeah, I would put some more branches and make it like fluffier, denser. And the other thing, maybe I saw that in the cinematic, like you have the distortion, like a post-process effect, and yeah, you try to give it an underwater feel, but yeah, sometimes on some shots it seems like it's not as like everything is too clear to be underwater. Maybe you could put like some bubbles or some like different like lens distortion and like increase the depth of field, things like that. I would like to have seen a bit more, but yeah, even without those, it's like a super interesting piece.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even think about the bubbles, but that's a really good point. You can do so much cool stuff by just having like a couple of these bubbles like here and there, and it's also very reusable in that way, right? So
Definitely.
yeah, that could be a good thing to like for like final polish to have them like here and there. So I love that. That's awesome. Lloyd is coming in saying that all these entries are so good for just like 4 to 5 weeks. Yeah, because in reality, like you have 4 weeks of production and 1 week of like pre-production, right? So the first week is always just getting the actual idea and the actual block out and the actual fundamentals of the scene in place, and then the rest of it is just like 4 weeks of production. So yeah, love it. Brigitte is saying the underwater effect looks really nice. Yeah, I love it too. And then Solon is coming in saying that the composition and the idea is amazing. And yeah, I think I totally agree. It's from the beginning, I was really interested in just where the team would want to go with this, because you can do it in so many ways, right? And this was also brought up by like both of you as well, that you can do this in a way where you have it like, oh, it's happening right now, or you can do it like, oh, it's happened like a year ago, or like whatever, like X amount of time, right? But it's an interesting move to do it like happening right now almost, because that is the trickiest thing to convey, right? That it hasn't happened like that long ago. So yeah, really interesting choice from the team and beautifully executed as well. So let's move on to some of the awards. This is a stacked page. So first of all, congratulations to the entire team. Both Leia and Angelo, forever intertwined with their awards, both gave it best thematic and best composition. And then Alistair gave best storytelling to this team as well. And then we have two more awards that actually come from the team themselves. The text is the same, but that's because they were both just like mentioned in the same text, right? So we decided to give David the award for Energizing Bunny, which is basically an individual that went above and beyond based on the recommendations from their team. And then Elmo actually got awarded the Swiss Army knife for just being like a jack of all trades. And just making significant contributions by really across the board, like the technical, the artistic, and just taking on whatever comes around. So yeah, congratulations, David and Elmo, for both of the awards as well. So awesome. Rigged? No, Lloyd, I swear it's not rigged. I have nothing to do with this. But yeah, congratulations, David and Elmo, for the awards. And then, yeah, the rest of the team as well for winning so many awards by the judges as well. So congratulations on that. Then it is time to dive into the realistic teams. So we're starting out with, we should honestly have an award for longest team name, because this team definitely won. Maybe we shouldn't, because we don't want to emphasize that. But this is Team Remote Environment Artist Squad number 5. Very specific. So let's see what they brought to the table. I have this beautiful abandoned temple with like lots of like little details on the sides as well. It looks so interesting. Just having like all the weapons and all the stones and everything is covered in moss, and really putting like the attention to detail. And again, Lloyd said it before. This is basically 4 weeks of production, right? From nothing to this in like 4 weeks. So this stuff is amazing for all the teams, right? Across the board. So yeah, I'll hand it back over to you, Angelo. What do you think?
Oof, yeah, like I loved, first of all, the composition, like how focused the lighting is. I mean, sorry, yeah, I'm gonna be going on with lighting with every environment, but yeah, especially the key shot is like, yeah, super good. And yeah, great use of the foreground elements, and yeah, how to frame everything with the path that guides the viewer to your like point of view. Yeah, I love the set dressing, like super nice work with how to place all of those individual assets and assemble the scene. And yeah, if I had to give off some feedback, I would say like some of the tree branches would stop abruptly, so maybe some more like a leaf cover would help there. And yeah, like the storytelling for me is interesting, but I think I was just a bit conflicted on what exactly I'm looking at. Is it like a former battlefield? Is it like an abandoned temple? So that would be my 2 cents on the scene. But yeah, overall, like super impressive for the amount of time that every team has.
100%. I love this little screenshot of this little flower. It just showcases like the attention to detail that this team really had with not only the foreground, but also just like the different sections of the environment too. Because honestly, I didn't even notice that there were so many weapons in the foreground until I had enough time to actually look around at the environment. So this is awesome. What do you feel, Leia? Like, how do you feel about this environment?
Actually, very similar notes. The little flower there was one of the first things that I noticed. With a supporting shot. So I really liked that one a lot. I think it could even make its way more into the foreground. Yeah, exactly. That looks really nice. I like, generally speaking, the composition with the trees in the foreground, how these are placed, and that we have the path leading up to the temple. yeah, and also I like details on the building. Like we have the snakes there, and then the ivy kind of looks like snaking its way up to the snake statues. So I like that one a lot. And when it comes to feedback, I think for me, what could be improved maybe is we have a path here that is not overgrown yet. So if this would be completely abandoned, I would expect this to be completely overgrown, but it's not. So it tells me that some people still frequently go there. So maybe we could add some elements that tell the story of those people visiting the temple, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great point, especially because you got like all the weapons and all that stuff. It feels like there was a battle there at some point, but you don't really have the signs of like a lot of the skeletons and all that kind of stuff that you would need to like support like a big battle like this, I feel, right? And there's always so many ways that you can kind of spin the story. You could have it like a couple of adventurers or a big battle or whatever you want to do. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's always a hard balance with these bigger scenes that you wanna keep like the sidelines clear, but then also you want to make it like really overgrown. And I feel like this team did a good balance between the two. Especially when it comes to the building, like you said, having like the ivy there, but it's not like fully covered, but it still has enough to indicate that it's like abandoned. So yeah. Towa is saying it looks like an Uncharted menu screen. It actually really does. Yeah, it really does. Or like Indiana Jones, right? Like it's inviting you to like, oh, I want to explore this place. It just invokes that fantasy. Roberto is saying Tomb Raider style. Yeah, that's also a good one. That's also a good one. Slash Double is saying, thanks guys, it's us. Hey, awesome job, Slash Double. Such good work. Yeah. Let's browse through this one more time. I think, yeah, the flowers would be nice if you kind of scattered them a little bit more visibly. But yeah, like you said, Leia, it's a fine balance, and it's also, yeah, so much happens in these challenges too. Cool. So that was team number 5. We do have an award to give away though. And this comes from the team themselves. So through our feedback mechanism, Liz managed to snatch the award of Swiss Army Knife. Because Liz knew a lot about all the technical aspects in the scene. And I imagine that Liz was like really keen and really helpful in setting up like some of the more technical aspects in the scene. For example, the vines and all that kind of stuff. I don't know who was involved with that specifically, but I can imagine that was like a fun technical challenge to do. Awesome. Then we move on to team number 6, which is called Team Last Minute. I do have to point out, it wasn't really last minute. It was like more than a couple of minutes too late, but we'll ignore that. Like, you know, we'll ignore that. So yeah, all jokes aside though, they decided to go for like this really interesting like monolith in the middle of like an ice cave. And I think, for transparency, I was a mentor of this team. So I had like at least like one weekly meeting with the team. Lots of stuff got improved. There was a lot of things that came in like somewhat last minute as well, but I think the team just really came together and like made it looking really good. Yeah, with that said, I'll hand it over to Leia this time around. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the idea a lot. To me, it feels mysterious. It's like an alien stone, right? And I was wondering when I looked at this, what made all the people disappear. So it's almost like they set up the workspace there and then everyone vanished. Yeah, I like the theme a lot. I think the composition overall works good too. And I think what I think could be pushed more in the narrative is I was wondering what exactly happened there. So maybe did they carve out the place? Could maybe add some rockfall netting on the sides or something like that. And otherwise for the lighting, I feel like the warm tones here together with the cold general lighting works really well. And I think that could be pushed more. So for example, in the center, you could just make the warm light feel a little bit more intense even to highlight the little carvings on the stone more. Yeah, and I think overall, yeah, it's a really cool idea. I like it.
Awesome. What about yourself, Angelo? What do you think?
Yeah, likewise, I'd say with the lighting, but I'll get back to it. Really enjoyed, like, yeah, the curiosity that it gave me when I first saw the render, and also, yeah, the cinematic. I really loved the editing and like the different camera angles. I think that really worked nicely together. Yeah, same with like Leah. I was just curious, yeah, where did all the humans go? What happened there? Why did everyone disappear? And yeah, I really love like the composition in terms of like we have like this giant floating obelisk or something. And yeah, I'd say in terms of lighting, could be I would like play around a bit more just to try to make it more focused. Make sure that the central piece is the highlight of the scene. Right now, I feel like some of the values might be a bit too dark. So like just right outside of PBR range on the lower end, and makes lumen or the indirect lighting struggle a bit with getting the right bounced information. But yeah, overall, like really interesting concept, and yeah, I can definitely see the potential.
Mm-hmm. Toa in chat is saying this looks like a fun place to explore. Well, that kind of depends on what happened with the people, right?
Yeah, feel free to go.
yeah.
I wouldn't explore it, but
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Let us know. You know, like text us while you get there. Justin is also popping in. Justin was a part of this team, and he says that like 2001: A Space Odyssey was like a main inspiration as well. Yeah, that's a classic, that one. If you wanted to give some feedback, Leah, what would that be from your side?
Well, it's similar, like I already said, with the lighting of like, I think we can create a main focal point that is around the monolith, because right now we have a lot of contrast going on all around the image. Maybe it's like Angelo said, so maybe some albedo values are too dark, so maybe we don't have a lot of bounce light happening here. And I think if we push the contrast more in the middle, that would improve the scene.
Yeah, I'm almost like instinctively, I want to make the monolith like a warm color. Like maybe not make the whole thing like orange or red or something like that, right? But make it more contrasty and kind of give it some sort of like a warm color, because it kind of works that we have it's surrounded by blue, and then having like a warmer color in the middle will add that contrast. It just depends on how you do it, of course. But yeah, that's almost like instinctively I want to go into the scene and I want to see what I can do with the shader, you know, like just changing the colors here and there. Yeah. But yeah, awesome job, team. A lot of amazing stuff that came together. I also love to see, because one of the last sessions that we had was that when I was mentoring this team was that there were a lot of bigger snow patches, but we didn't have anything small to blend it with. So the team really got together and made a lot of adjustments to the shader to make all the areas, like all the meshes like covered in snow. A lot of these like smaller things like the decals and stuff on the floor. Really putting that attention to detail. So great stuff there, team. Well deserved. So we have one award to give for Justin, actually, who is in the chat with us. Justin got praise from the team because Justin was always looking to make everyone in the team feel that their opinion mattered, which is awesome, right? One of the core things that we have to do as people working within the team is that, well, especially if in this case, like Justin has, he was the team lead, so making sure that everyone's opinion mattered was really, really big. And this is only not only from the team itself. I also have to sort of like accentuate the award from my side as well. Justin was constantly like trying to push himself, make sure that people got heard, making sure that like he was trying to find like the right balance between like of leadership style, and that's not an easy thing to do, especially not in 5 weeks. And I think you've done really well, Justin. So awesome job on that. Then we go to the next team, Team Stone Squad. Toa is clapping in the chat. Love it. Harry for like the last team was saying that it's giving Skyrim remaster vibes. I think you mean Oblivion, no? It's not Skyrim. Don't give him ideas. That they released that game on like every platform available. Don't let them make a remaster. Anyway, Stone Squad. I'll open it up with this is the team that scared me the most. Straight up, because they had such a big scale and big scope from the beginning that I was sweating. But don't let that distract from like the awesome end result that the team managed to get in the end. I think fantastic job, even though I was sweating profusely through my screen the entire time. I think the team did really well. Everything, there was a lot of work that was done in the last week, especially with the help of their mentor, who did like an amazing job, like pushing it across the finish line. I saw her in there like a lot in the last week. So massive shout out to as well for helping that team. Yeah, but what do you think, Angelo? How did you like this team's work?
See, I'm a bit biased if I say I love the theme, right? It definitely feels a bit Greek to me. But I'll still be a very objective judge, But yeah, I love the atmosphere. I feel that the team nailed the overall look of how I guess ancient Greeks somewhere would be. And if I were a bit nitpicky because of my background, I would say that guys, the cypress trees are not exactly these trees.
Oh my god.
And not sure that the Hydra was a statue, but I'll accept it. I really love the art. Yeah, I love the foliage. Like feels very organic. I love all the flower patches, and like super interesting result. And I feel like everything blends in very nicely together.
Yeah. I think the flower patches are definitely like, it's a tricky thing because you might overuse them and then distract from like the main focus point. But I think this team did like really good balance between all the elements in the scene. What do you think, Leia?
The statue looks lovely. Great work on that. And for the flowers, I really like them as well. They bring nice colors to the scene, and I think it vibes well with the sky too. I like the sky a lot. It's a nice scene. It looks great.
Yeah. The sky is so pretty, so serene. I love it. If you would have to say something that the team could improve on this, like what could they do?
Staying with the sky for a second, I think it could pop even more. So maybe if it has a bit more contrast and, behind the ruins, we have a real sunset happening, that could be cool. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. I think that would also be some of my feedback as well, is that you have done a great job on like the foreground and the midground, but the background could use like a little bit more love because it just feels a little bit basic, right? And you have so many assets there already that you can just scatter like another ruin on like a distant hill or something like that, just to sell the idea that this is just like a world. But yeah, that's all like pretty nitpicky. So job well done to this team. Did a fantastic job, especially with the flowers. I love the flowers. So good. For most of the teams, like this is also the first time that I actually get to take a proper look at them as well. So I'm discovering this stuff, like these like intricate little details. I'm discovering them live while we're looking at it, and it's so beautiful. Right, let's get on to the awards. So Angelo, breaking away from the tradition of doing the same awards as Leia, is giving this team best lighting. That is amazing. And then Alistair came in with best storytelling for this team. So congratulations to the team for winning those 2 judges awards. And then I also have an award to give to the team. Not for anything artistic related, even though the team did a great job. But like I said in the beginning, I was sweating when I first saw the scope and the scale of the environment, and even up until like the deadline, I gotta be honest. But this team really pulled through, and the end results speak for themselves. I think the team has done a fantastic job. I think as a mentor for this team, did a fantastic job as well, guiding them over the finish line and really pulling it all together. So fantastic job to the entire team, and congratulations on making such a beautiful end result. Toa is saying, damn, that's a huge scale. I know. And Adabon is saying that they love the flowers and the frozen soldiers. The scene's eerie but colorful. Yeah, there's like a kind of a mysticism around the scene, you know? Kind of trying to figure out like what happened. And it might also be, talking about those frozen soldiers, or like those people that were turned into stone, it might also be that this challenge was overall the challenge where we saw like the most humans in the scenes, which is really interesting. But I think it's a good change just to add to the complexity of the scenes as well. But we'll talk about that more in future teams. Well, no, actually this team. So this is Team Infinity 8. They did a fantastic job making something that feels on the opposite end of the scope spectrum, right? Something that is a little bit just more focused, just focusing on like a singular thing, not to like hide that there's complexity in the background and that there was like a lot of work that went into it. But I think this team did like a really fantastic job on keeping it focused on the focal point. But yeah, let's have a look at the little video here. I think, yeah, just so many beautiful little things coming in. The birds flying off of the statue. And then you got all the leaves just like kind of flying about. Such a beautiful piece that this team has done. I think Sergey is adding something to the last team as well, like a shout out to actually the mentor on that team. So Sergey is saying, was lovely to have her as our mentor, and thank you a lot for the kind words. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so back to this team though. What do you think about this one, Angelo?
Oh, I absolutely love this one. I love, as you already mentioned, the sense of scale and all that it immediately gives you, the strong direction and lighting that just works really well with this composition. And like I picked up a tiny bit of like a camera angle, so it's not exactly that angle, but it's just a tiny bit to just give it that extra uncanny feel. And like all of the extra like shots, supporting shots with the characters that have like moss or grass growing on them. It's like, super good.
Yeah. What about you, Leia? What do you think?
I mean, when I first laid eyes on the scene, I felt instantly biased because to me it feels like something that came straight out of Elden Ring, and I love that game. And I really like the whole idea, the composition. Great work on the statues. all the statues, like the large statue and the smaller ones, and I absolutely love the smaller details that are put on those. Yeah, these little foliage patches, that works really well, I think. Yeah, it's just, I like it. I like it a lot. The atmosphere feels great to me. Maybe if some feedback to push the composition further, I think the background contrast could be reduced a little bit so that we have more focus on the main statue. Because it feels like the composition wants me to draw attention to this little broken off piece of the statue, but instead my eye wanders towards the top or the left part of it. So that could be maybe improved. Yeah, really good work on this one.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's always fascinating to me that you have something that works from like a large distance, right? Where you get this like really amazing, impactful image. And then you have like those detail shots where you just see that it also holds up if you were to like, let's say, run around as a player yourself in the scene as well. And that's not easy to pull off. Yeah. What would you want to improve on the scene, Angela?
I got a nitpick with the foreground tree on the main shot. It feels like the branches are looking the opposite way like that they should, but yeah, it's like a minor thing that could be fixed in 2 minutes.
Oh, interesting. I thought you were gonna say that they just end. Like normally you would like expect kind of branches to go up until the end, but
yeah, but
would
I
be my
think the leaf card is actually like the branch card is facing the other way. So a minor thing, to be honest.
Oh,
And
I see.
Other than that, like I love the storytelling that it gives me immediately, but I would have liked a few more context clues as to what is actually happening there. So like why are all those statues there and what happened, perhaps. But yeah, no, that's a bit subjective. Like it might be a bit tricky to actually achieve. Especially given the tiny, like the 5 weeks deadline.
Yeah,
it's already impressive enough.
It's oftentimes really difficult to do storytelling well where you have something like Elden Ring, right? And oh my god, people are gonna shout at me for this one, but I've never played like any of the Dark Souls games or Elden Rings games. Sorry, Leia, I know we talked about this before, I think, but but I think the beauty of that game is that there's such like a fine balance between, okay, this is what we do visually, but then they don't tend to over-explain a lot of things compared to some other games, right? And then you have to really dig for the things yourself. So it's, I struggle with this myself as like an environment artist, where sometimes I tend to over-explain because that's just like the way that I got taught things and the way that it kind of works in games. But there's also a beauty of just leaving it a little bit. It's a fine balance sometimes. Really tricky. Yeah. I love this piece. Toa is asking, oh, sorry about that. Is this level playable? Yeah, this is all running in Unreal Engine. So hold on.
This piece is so good that Tim died, guys.
Yeah, be right back. Okay. I think we're back. Oh, something's stuck in my throat though. Ugh.
You're good.
I think so.
I was about to start telling dad jokes. Come on.
Yeah? Okay. I'll give you like another minute.
Oh no. I was bluffing. Come on.
Oh, boo, come on. Okay, let's see. So it's not only technical issues, it's also just me issues as well. Let's go to the next team. Oh no, not actually the next team. We have some awards to hand out actually. So both Alistair and Angelo gave this team the best lighting award. I think well deserved to this team. I really love the lighting as well. It looks so good, really focused, and yeah, I think honestly, well deserved for this team. We also have a backbone award that goes to Alessandro from the team itself, because Alessandro took on a lot of the artistic direction related tasks and became a connecting joint of all the other members' work. So yeah, doing a lot of like the connective tissue within the team. And the team noticed. So awesome job, Alessandro. Congratulations on winning the Backbone Award. That is amazing. Next, we have Team Temporal Architects. Unfortunately, we have no video for this team. Might be this is the only team that doesn't have a video. Unfortunately, it's always nice to see like everything moving. But as we said before, 5 weeks, lots of stuff happening between the teams, between the individuals, between the teams as well. Just normal life stuff, even, right? And then doing like a challenge on top of it all. It gets really busy sometimes. So that doesn't take away from like how good the piece looked though. This might also have been one of the ones where I was like pretty scared up until like a certain point, but the team really managed to pull through and they got like a really, really good looking piece out of this. So I'll kick it over to you, Leia. What do you think?
I think the assets look really good. I like the rocks in the foreground. It has nice details, and also on the architecture itself, there's a lot of smaller details that we can see. I think overall, this is really good stuff. And for points for improvements, I think it's for me just the composition and lighting that I think for me is a bit hard to find a main focal point on the scene where I can rest my eye on. So maybe it could be improved if there's one main light and we have a kind of silhouetting going on, so that right now the scene is lit more uniformly. And if there's more silhouetting going on in the foreground, maybe that could help to draw the attention to one specific point, like for example the rock, I think, in the crate that's been pulled up there. Yeah, overall, very good work. So,
yeah, I think that's really good feedback as well. Because yeah, for me, it's kind of distracting to have such an interesting color and so much light happening in the foreground that it kind of takes away from like the main focal point. But yeah, let's have a look. We got some people. Oh my god, Matthew Hickey coming into the chat saying that this scene rocks. Oh my god, Angelo.
Oh, he stole that from me.
You've got competition, dude. Sarah is saying killer piece, and Luis is coming in saying I can see the BE logo. Yeah, me too. I mean, we don't give any extra points, you know? Like, I just want to say, like, I appreciate the gesture, but it doesn't have to be this, guys. But no, awesome work. Maybe I should start doing like a logistics company by the looks of it. Seems like we're doing pretty well. Cool. But let's go back to what you were saying before, Angelo. What would you say that could be improved on this scene?
I think I echo a lot, Leah. With the lighting, it feels like overall too bright for the mystery that this scene tries to evoke. Yeah, I love the texturing of some of the assets. Yeah, the rocks and the ground is like super interesting. The ancient like structures, the wall structures are also like super cool. And yeah, like I think the lighting doesn't give it that justice here because everything's like overly bright, a bit too flat. So I think, especially being a cave, it would be a super nice opportunity to just get some directional lighting, lots of shadows to play around. Yeah, and volumetrics. I can see the team, like, they tried to have some volumetric spotlights, but yeah, like, they seem to be floating in the air with no supported geometry. So yeah, I mean, might have run out of time, or there's so many things that like a scene of that scale will require.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are some good points. Totally agree. Like, just getting that sense of this is just like a dust-filled place, and then having the spotlights interact with that would be really cool as well. Yeah, but great job, Temporal Architects. Lovely to see the work. We're moving on to Team 10. After this, we got 4 more teams before before we go into like the winners. But this team is Battalion 10. They did an awesome job on doing the cinematic. Unfortunately, we don't have like any of the audio because it just glitches with the presentation for whatever reason. But just imagine that they went all out with the soundscape, because you have explosions and like the sound of gunfire and all that kind of stuff going on, which was amazing. Like, just having that in the cinematic was beautifully done. So that deserves a shout out just by itself. I don't know if you had the chance to listen to the audio, Leia.
Oh, sorry, it was mute. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely done. Especially for a scene like this, the atmosphere is just like the selling piece. It was awesome. But yeah, what did you think about the piece itself then, Leia? Apart from the audio.
I think it's amazing. Like, the details are really well placed. I think the models look great and the colors are on point. And I think just the quality of all the assets is consistent. So yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. Sorry. Maybe if there's some room for improvements, I think it could feel even a bit more oppressive if the trenches are slightly more close to one another. But that's like a nitpicky thing. So overall, I think the atmosphere here is made really well.
Like more claustrophobic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just having like
Exactly.
the spaces tighter and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
So you feel really hidden if you're down there in the trenches.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Something to really play around with it. Also, just adding chaos to the mix, right? Because some elements of the trench, they kind of feel somewhat clean compared to what I would expect from like a trench, you know? But yeah, those are like tiny nitpicks from my side as well. What about your side, Angelo? What do you think?
Yeah, I love the composition of the keyshot. Like, I love the moody lighting. Like, really sold the theme. And yeah, the storytelling, super good. In my only comments would be perhaps to just have more dynamic elements, like rain, like some stronger, like the flag flapping with the wind, or like some VFX on the background sky. But yeah, super good, well done.
Yeah. Those are some great ideas. It almost takes me back to playing Battlefield again, and just seeing like those little blimps that they have in the sky that you can just those work so well, even though I have no clue if they were like actually there, like historically, but it just adds to the whole feel. Yeah, really well done, team. And I love, like as some other people were saying, like just the small assets as well. Really doing a good job of taking care of like the big size, but also the smaller size too. Luis is saying, reminds me of War 1973. I have no clue what that is, actually. Is that a game or a movie? No clue. That was asking, or saying rather, I like the cold lighting. And Solon is saying, I like the setting. Okay. Interesting. Let's leave it at that. Let's go to the awards. So Leia gave this best storytelling, and then Angelo, oh, we're back on track. The universe is all right. Both gave best storytelling. Awesome. So we also have another award here called Nacho Approved. It's basically an award that we give to like teams that were like noticeably fantastic in their communication and their synergy and their team spirit, and just all good vibes around, like basically. So we have some people writing in saying awesome team, communication, and attention to detail. The whole team worked diligently. I had an amazing experience and an amazing team. Everything worked out perfectly. Everyone did a great job. So that is awesome. From the organization point of view, that's all that we can hope for, really. So really, really happy to hear about it. And yeah, well deserved on this little cute dog award. Just for a side note, Nacho is my little dog, so you can have his cute little face there. Let's see who the next team is. So the next team is called Press Start Eventually. And eventually we did, because they managed to make this cool little like retro futurism kind of scene here. Apologies for the wrong team name in the top left. Feel free to ignore that. It's Press Start Eventually that this team is. I told you there were going to be technical difficulties. But yeah, amazing job. Really interesting just spin on the whole formula. And yeah, interestingly executed as well. What do you think about this one, Angelo?
Yeah, it's definitely has a unique aesthetic, and yeah, it was like from the first moment I watched it, it's like super intriguing to see more around the scene. I honestly love the bar scene. Like that's not the main shot, but I would probably put that in there, or like find a way to tweak the composition just to fit it in a bit more. But yeah, super interesting. It reminds me of like the 70s or 80s style of futuristic designs. But
yeah, some like retro futurism going on.
I'm not good with terminology, but yeah, definitely interesting.
No, we got you here for the dad jokes. I'll do like the silly terms, you know. No, I definitely agree. Like the bar, just by itself, the way that the shapes flow and like the way that everything's composed, like look really nice. Not to say that the rest of the scene doesn't look good. It's interesting that we have like these, bold choice of colors, bold choice of designs as well, which is not that easy to pull off. So yeah, how do you feel about retro futurism, Leia?
I feel very good about it. I like the shape language a lot. Like everything here is curved, starting from the obvious stuff, the chairs. We also have the round lights, and then on the bar we have the bar curved, and all the other elements are curved, and even the floor. And I think that's really nice one. I like it. And the only gripe I think I have with this scene is when we look outside, it's a bit hard for me to understand if we're up in the sky or on the ground. Because in the cinematic we see the flying object rather slowly moving by, so that would suggest to me that we are up in the sky. But then we also have a lot of atmospheric fog going on, which tells me that we are on the ground. So I think the narrative could be pushed further to make that more clear. So either there's like a clear, sky with stars or something, or we have elements on the floor, like building ruins that are more clearly distinguished, and maybe the flying object would fly past faster. So that's basically my only nitpick here.
Yeah, those are some very good points. because I'm also not really sure what we're supposed to be looking at outside as well, and especially because we have like the glass facade. It's gonna be up for scrutiny, right? What about you, Angelo? What do you think? Or like, what would you think
Yeah.
could be improved?
I agree. It would be like, it feels like a wasted opportunity to not have something truly remarkable on the background. And yeah, another thing I would say is like maybe some of the geometry, mainly I think the furniture, like the chairs. While I love the bar stools, maybe the chairs could use some more like unique designs to sell that retrofuturism. But I know, yeah, like designing those kinds of furniture is like tricky enough by itself.
Yeah, exactly. That I think that was a real challenge for this team, where if you go with something that is really inspired by like just these retro shapes, then you kind of have to. It's really tricky to find like a consistent language between all the shapes that you have, right? I think for the most part, the team has done like a really good job, but there are certain elements that just, yeah, could have been pushed a little bit more. But yeah, overall, fantastic job still for this team. Amazing work. We do have 2 awards to give to this team as well. Well, it's honestly not ours to give. They're basically from the team themselves. So we got 2 for the same award. So we got 2 bridge builders. So bridge builder goes to a great communicator, speaking up in feedback sessions and being open and helping other people out as well. So Adam gets the Bridge Builder award because he was great at offering feedback and advice, as well as offering a helping hand. And then Heather gets a Bridge Builder for being a particularly great team player and helping to get as much done in the last few days. So massive shout out to the both of them, and well deserved. Love to have 2 people that were so supportive of like everyone else. So yeah. And thank you also for the team to just coming forward and bringing that to us as well. That's always awesome. Next, we have Team 10,000 Capybaras. This is a team that I was fortunate enough to mentor as well. But let's dive into their little video. It's, yeah, beautiful and ambitious scale of scene again, and I think it's really well executed. A lot of balancing between like multiple focal points, making sure that like all the elements came together really nicely, and I think the team themselves have done a really good job. But I'm biased, so I'll hand it over to the actual professionals here. What do you think, Leah?
I love this the theme a lot and the details of the overgrown look. Yeah, it's I could look at the main screenshot a long time and notice a lot of new details each time. Like for example, the giant's arm there. I didn't even notice it for the first time I looked at the scene. And then when I noticed it, there's more, more storytelling details that you pick up on. And I think overall it works really well. It's a interesting choice for the themes here. I think it works really well. My only point would be my eye always gets drawn to this little boat, right? Because it has the most saturation in the scene. And on the boat itself, there's no actual storytelling elements. Like you could have some elements dangling from the boat or whatnot. But I think it distracts a little bit from what is happening right next to it. Like we have the shrine and the fallen giant there. And that, I think, is the reason why I didn't notice it in the first place. It's just because I was too much drawn to the boat. But again, that's also nitpicky stuff. I think the scene looks really, really well made overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people in the chat are saying that there's incredible amounts of detail and just so much detail. So yeah, and also Tutur Tim was able to say 10,000, Well, thanks. I appreciate it. You know, I got some supportive people here. But yeah, I think I do agree. Like there's an element of there's so much happening, especially on the left side of the screen where you have like the robot arm, all the foliage, the little shrine, the boat. Like they all call for like their own kind of set of attention, right? But if there's actually one thing that I would say as like a little bit of a feedback thing is the density that you get from all the ivy on the roof has made the central focal point feel really noisy now. And I think Lumen, in this case, is also not really helping with that either because you get a lot of light and shadow, which makes the central piece like feel really noisy at this point. So if there's like one thing that I would really investigate for the portfolio purposes, that would be that little area. Enough about me though. What do you think, Angelo?
Yeah, just to chime in on that last part you mentioned, yeah, I would definitely like be a bit careful, especially with Lumen nowadays. Yeah, if you have very high detail foliage, that could be trees, that could be the moss or the grass. Yeah, you need to be careful. Like, check out the distance fields, check out your subsurface settings, make them as smooth as you possible. But yeah, overall, I love the composition. I love how the foreground elements like helped like frame the final shot. And yeah, I loved all the little pieces of like side storytelling. And yeah, also a big shout out to the actual cinematic because yeah, it really showcased all of those under the best light. Really nice editing there. And yeah, if I could just give a piece of feedback apart from the foliage and yeah, the lighting, like intricacies, I'd say the scale confused me a few times, especially on the shot, yeah, with the shrine and the boat, because the shrine looks like a bit too tiny compared to the boat. So I got confused at the moment that it was a bit of a like miniature scale. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, really impressive overall.
Yeah, amazing job to the entire team. Well deserved. Making a kick-ass environment is not easy, especially in this short amount of time. You've done an amazing job bringing it all together as well. Yeah, I didn't even notice that we had like a little map showcasing like the history of this area. I think like, but in like a very, very subtle way, because you got like a giant fighting something else, even though we can't really see what it is. It's kind of hinting at something, which is really interesting. But yeah, let's talk about the awards. So following tradition, we got Leia and Angelo both giving best thematic to this team. Beautifully done. I think, yeah, I would agree as well. Like if I had like any opinion in the matter, yeah, really, really following the thematic of just like echoes of the past, as in, yeah, like really reflecting on like the past and what happened here. Alistair gave this team best composition as well, so congratulations on snatching that one up as well, team. Well deserved. And then we do have a Mysterious Stranger award. Okay, this is not like an official award, but we kind of had to make it like that because this is a quote. There was this one member who did an incredible job taking on others members' tasks and looking at other sources from feedback apart from our assigned mentor. No clue who that person is. The person didn't get mentioned. So whoever thinks that they are that person, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations on winning the Energizer Bunny in that case. Our Mysterious Stranger. Yeah, nice one. Congratulations to the entire team again. Let's move on to the second to last team. We got Organization 13. And I'll just let the little cinematic speak for itself here. Because I do really love the colors that were used in this scene. Very bold choices, but I think they worked out like really, really well. So yeah, just all the tiny details again. I mean, it puts me in like this phase of reflection where like people make this awesome scene and then also take the time to put like all those small details in. And just like 4 weeks of actually production work is freaking crazy. So yeah, beautiful piece done by Organization 13. We'll kick it back over to Leia this time. What do you think about this scene?
I really like how the stone is integrated with the tree, and generally speaking, the choice of warm and cold colors. So the candles, and then we have on the upper part the tree with the chimes. And also there's detailed shots for the candles and the chimes, and I think those were great. So really, really nice eye for the details here. And like anytime I looked at this scene, I was just wondering one thing is how would it look in a nighttime environment, right? Because right now we have a lot of light going on. So the main sunlight and then the candlelight, and we have the chimes glowing. So I'm not sure if it's actual feedback, but this is just what I keep wondering. What if we just remove the sunlight and then we have a more focused warm lighting from the candles and really push the feeling of the glowing parts of the tree and the chimes that hang from it.
Oh, that would be so sick. Seeing this in like a nighttime. Oh, I didn't even think about that until you brought it up, but it feels like the scene is already set up for it anyway. So, you know, if the team hears this, maybe just give us a cheeky preview of what that might look like, right? And I'll send it over to Leia as well, to Leia and Angela.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, awesome. What are your thoughts, Angela? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely send the scene over. You know, I could do a lighting study.
Oh, he's going one step further. He just wants the whole scene.
No, like I really enjoyed this scene. It for some reason, I mean, not for some reason, but it gave me God of War vibes. Probably the tree with the blue veins and all of those like little crystals. But yeah, super nice. I love how the team like plays the tree and all of the branches just to frame the scene better. Love the composition, and super amazing storytelling. And honestly, I think one of my only nitpick points would be like some density like inconsistencies, especially in the close-ups between some assets. But yeah, I know that's like tricky, especially if you're working with like 5 different people, such a short period of time. So it's not something deal breaker for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's 5 different people in every team, and then also just doing it in like 4 weeks. I feel like pixel density usually takes a backstage.
It's not challenges. Like the most pressing issue usually.
It is, but it would still be good to fix up for your portfolio though. So getting like a little bit closer to consistency between all the assets, that would actually be a great shout. Yeah, amazing stuff for the scene. Katarina is jumping in and is saying that it was inspired by God of War actually. So that is awesome. Luna, also from the team, is saying that we will. So yeah, we will be getting our hands, well, maybe not on the scene, maybe not going as far as like Angelo wants it, just the whole scene. But we'll definitely try like a relight. I think that would be really awesome to see. So yeah, feel free to send it over to me, and then I'll send it over to Angelo and Leia as well. That would be awesome. Toa is asking, or saying rather, I really like the design of the tree. It reminds me of Pan's Labyrinth. Oh my god, that's been ages since I thought about that movie. I still, yeah. For those who know, like, it made me think about food in a different way. Let's say that. Cool. We do have some awards to hand out though. We have let's start with Sunny. So Sunny is sneakily in the background because Sunny has the benefit of handing out like the Miro Mayhem Award because she was surprised by the amount of stuff that was just on that Miro board. I'm actually going to reveal something Sonny's first comment was actually like, "Whoa, it just keeps going," because the Miro board was so big. So yeah, that's just an indication of like how much stuff there is on the Miro board, and that's like a unique award that only goes to the team that had like the most, let's say, not chaotic award, but I mean chaotically creative. Let's keep it at that. And then I do want to give like a personal reward from my side as well to this team. We'll call it the self-res reward, which is a team that basically proves us wrong and like kind of rose from the ashes to make an awesome piece. Without going too much into detail, these challenges are really difficult because you get put together with like a bunch of random people, and for whatever reason, stuff changes, life comes along, you have to move stuff about. And this team really stood the test of time by just being able to take on those challenges and really pushing out something that is truly incredible. And I think the results just speak for themselves. So yeah, like I said there, managed to rise above it with good leadership and a strong team spirit, and you should all be really proud of what you achieved as well. So that is a couple of comments from my side. Then we have a unique situation happening here. Basically, the team is just showering Katerina from the team. Basically, we had to decide between one or multiple awards, and we decided to go for multiple in this case. Both the Energizer Bunny, which means an individual that went above and beyond the recommendations from the team and their mentors. And then also just a backbone for being a great communicator, a great lead. And I think the comments here speak for themselves. Like the entire team just showered Katerina in beautiful comments. So being mentioned that she was like a great lead, pushing above and beyond. She was involved in all the aspects of the project and communicated with like all the team members. She was constantly working to improve like the overall scene and contributed to the most assets. And she had to put a lot of stuff on her shoulders. So yeah, like Luna is saying in the chat as well, we are proud we have such a great team. And that is awesome to hear. So congratulations again, Katerina, for all like the good comments and all the praises that get thrown your way by the team. It's well deserved. And again, Luna coming into the chat, Katerina was so awesome. So yeah, well deserved, Katerina. Then we go on to the can we see the Miro chaos? No, I don't want to throw the team under the bus like that. That would be unjustified. It feels like that's something that we need to ask permission for before we do that to the team. Oh my god. Last team for today, or for this challenge rather, is Team 4Team 2.0.zip. Yeah, quite close to getting the most creative name, or like a long name, but hey, you're getting close. This team did a beautiful job on really like a bold color palette, like something that we don't really see all that much. And yeah, like the small tweaks in the hands and like the small bits of animation like really sell it. But yeah, I'll hand it over to Angelo for the last one. What do you like about this one?
Yeah, I love the colors, as you said. I love the subtle animation and everything, the VFX inside the hourglass. And yeah, the foreground color, like elements just to frame it even nicer. And also, yeah, the small dots angle that the team introduced just to make it a tiny bit more uncanny to sell the mood. Yeah, overall, I love it. I would just have liked to see a bit more of extra, like secondary support shots, but I guess the team focused so much on the main shot that they just gave it everything over there.
Yeah, really focused on making that one shot like really sell the whole idea. What about you, Leia?
Looks so mysterious. I like it a lot, and I think the color choice of purple fits really well with the theme. And yeah, I was just looking at the cinematic a couple of times and wondering what will happen when the hourglass has run out. So it's very intriguing piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I think composition very eye-catchy. I like it a lot. I like for the cinematic also that we can see the skeleton hands, fingers like, a little bit moving. That's really cool little details. And for some feedback, is very nitpicky again, but we have the purple, right, and we have the complementary color scheme with the skull being a little yellow toned. So I feel like the grass could be more towards yellow tinted as well. So that supports the colors better, in my opinion. And otherwise, similar to what Angelo already said, some supporting details would be great, like in the mid-ground, maybe there could be some, secondary assets to help understand better the depth of the scene. Yeah, overall, really, really nice work. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I would love to see like some of those pieces of destruction being more prevalent in like the midground or something like that, because it almost feels like this giant thing fell through the whole building. And it would be kind of nice to have like cascading of the building just like coming towards you. Almost just in like a cause and effect kind of way. But yeah, overall really, really well done. Is there anything that you would want the team to improve on this one, Angela?
Ooh. Really tricky, to be honest. I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, like Azealia said, could push the colors a bit. Maybe like adding some additional storytelling on the foreground, like the ground, because yeah, right now it's just grass. Maybe you could add some bits and bobs there. But yeah, honestly, I really love this scene.
Yeah,
So
me
yeah,
too.
really well done.
Really well done indeed. Talking about really well done, we have a couple more awards to hand out to this team as well. So Leia decided to hand this team the best composition and best lighting. So congratulations on that. Angela is following suit with the best composition, and Alistair gave the best thematic to this team. And we have one of our team awards that we have to give out. So this is from the organization. We do keep some of the data, and we kind of try to introduce like these fun little things in between. This team had a grand total of 352 submits during 5 weeks, which, if you're doing the numbers, that's like almost 10 submits a day on average, which is intense. That's a lot. So yeah, congratulations on doing that, but also, wow, that is a lot. But yeah, well done to the team. Well deserved. And now, I know that we went through like a whole bunch of teams. I just want to have like a quick refresher here and just let you sink in, like go through all the teams. And for that, we have like a little video prepared as well. So let me mute my music. We're gonna hide ourselves for a second as well, just so that you can fully take it in. So we'll see you in a bit after this video is over. All right, we are back. That was quick. Let's have a look. So, you know what time it is. We're gonna start with the realistic category this time around. But let's have a look at what people were saying. So Route 1 is saying the suspense. Yes, we're getting there. We're getting there. I know that we're going like pretty long. We just entered like our second hour as well, so I'm not gonna make it too much longer. But Bulborp is saying, I'm surprised there was much fewer stylized teams. Not sure if that's a common occurrence. Yeah, that is actually a common occurrence. We do see like a dramatic uptick though in stylized teams. We didn't used to have the people for stylized teams, but now we actually have a lot of them comparatively. But hopefully we'll have more in the future. Anyways, let's start with our realistic category. So this is the bulkiest category. Like I said, Angelo and Leia are a part of our judging team, and then Alistair, who unfortunately couldn't make it. Like they got to basically rank visually where they think like the individuals of the team, the individual teams would be. And then we kind of had to give like a score to all of them, and that's how we got to like a combined total between all the teams. So let's start out with the realistic category with third place, and it's already starting with something really interesting that happened, because we don't have to actually have a winner for the third place. We have two. So the reason why we have two is because these two teams, they actually had an equal amount of points no matter how we tried to split it. So we tried two different methods to see if like one would come out on top. Didn't matter. So congratulations to Team 10, Battalion number 10, and then 10,000 Capybaras. Congratulations on the tie, basically, for the third place. Well deserved to both teams. Just want to add this in here. Oh, this still has the audio in it, so you get to enjoy it. Beautifully done, especially with the audio. So congratulations on the third place, Battalion 10. And then we have the other team, also with some beautiful audio now. Congratulations, 10,000 Cappies or Capybaras on the shared third place for this challenge. Beautifully done. Megfal in the chat is asking if we can have a duel between the two teams, but maybe, yeah. Let's see if the teams want to make like another environment, you know, just to duel it out. Beautiful. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. We're gonna go back one step, and we're gonna be talking about Battalion 10. Yeah. Do you want to say like a couple of additional words on this environment, Angelo?
Oh, yeah, absolutely loved the mood, the lighting, and yeah, just the storytelling all around. Honestly, super good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. And then I'll let Leia talk about this team then. What did you like about this team the most?
I think it has overall great storytelling and well-executed details. We already talked a lot about the details in the scene before. I just think wherever you look, you find something interesting to look at. It's well-executed, and I think in general, the scene feels very polished to me. Good job.
Yeah. Awesome job, both teams on the shared third place. First time ever we had to do that, so congratulations again to both teams. Next up, we have second place goes out to Infinity 8. Congratulations on winning second place, Team Infinity 8. Beautiful job on the environment. Yeah, beautiful lighting, beautiful bits of storytelling. Yeah, really a job well done. Anything else you want to add to that, Angelo?
Just a sense of grandeur and a sense of depth in the whole environment. Yeah, really sold it for me.
Yeah, 100%. So congratulations on winning second place, Team Infinity 8. And then we go on to the winner, which is Team 2.0 Zip. Congratulations on winning the slot for the realistic category. Congratulations, team. Well deserved. I'm personally like a big fan of like all the subtle details in this scene, where the team had like really put in the time to like animate the small couple of bits on like the bones and the hands. Just yeah, job really well done. Any secondary thoughts from you, Leia? What do you think?
I can just iterate again, like the composition, lighting, colors, everything looks amazing, on point.
Yeah.
The mystery and wonder in the scene is just amazing, well executed. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So congratulations, Team 14, on winning this time around for the realistic category. Well deserved. Awesome job on the entire team. Also doing that with like 352 like submits is freaking crazy. So you guys absolutely went ham. Well done. Now we jump over to the stylized category, for which we have in third place, we have Team Control Forward. Beautifully done with this monkey shrine. Yeah, beautiful colors, beautiful lighting, really well done. Yeah, we'll switch it back to you, Leia, for this one. Anything you want to add there to the winners?
It's also here, the colors are very beautiful. I love the lighting. So again, just iterating what I already said before. Really good job to everyone. Yeah.
Nice one. Congratulations. Second place for stylized. And it looks like my efforts of obscuring the people are actually working in stylized, so that's great. Second place goes to Team Perlin Bois. Congratulations. Well done. Hashtag totally not biased. So just to say, I was a mentor for one of these teams, for this team specifically. Loved the vibes. Loved how the team worked together. So job well done, team. You've done an amazing job. A bunch of really interesting details in this environment, and yeah, just like a really unique choice for the thematic as well. Anything you want to add for this team, Angelo?
Yeah, definitely a very refreshing idea, and yeah, I loved all of the different angles and like dynamic elements that this scene had. So well deserved, I'd say.
Yeah, beautifully done. Congratulations to the team. And then for the winner, we have the Alphas. Congratulations. Let me just pound the shit out of this. So congratulations to the entire team. Job well done. Yeah, really love like all the attention to detail, like all the small things coming together. Really cool. Leia, any final thoughts for this team?
Very confident name choice there.
Yeah.
So it went all out in the end. Yeah, so the composition, again, all the dynamic elements and the little details are really good work. And it looks very polished. I think you can really see that there was a lot of effort going into the scene. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Job well done, team. Congratulations on the win. That was beautiful. Yeah, honestly, I'm always so incredibly proud of like all the teams. Just everyone really putting their heart and soul into these challenges. And it's so I'm fortunate that I don't have to be in a position to like actually pick like who won, you know, because that's like picking between like all my favorite children or whatever. So I'm glad that I don't have to do that. But yeah, I'm incredibly proud of like anyone that participated, all the really difficult choices that had to be made for making a better environment, talking to the mentors, making sure that the mentors were really pushing the teams as well. A massive shout out goes to them too for being able to be a part of this and lending their time to like all the individual teams as well. So massive congratulations to everyone involved, and especially the winners, and yeah, second and third places in both categories. So congratulations, everyone. Yeah. I think with that, it's time to kind of talk about like what's next. There's not going to be too much more that needs to be done for the individual teams. I do want to give a reminder that we have a feedback form that is linked in your individual channels. If you want to help us like make these things like better in the future, we always appreciate like any feedback. So feel free to make use of that as well. Blacklist is asking, show the scoring sheet. Actually, that would be an interesting one for next time. So we'll add that to the feedback. Our team chat is on fire right now. Thanks. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but congratulations again to like all the teams. So yeah, what's next? We'll give you like access to the repository for a little bit longer. Let's say an extra week, let's say until the 10th. That's when I want to start like putting people off. If you decide as a team that you want to spend more time on actually polishing the project, talk to myself and we can extend the amount of time that you need, right? So feel free to ping me a message. Prepare renders, that is for like our social media blast that we do. So that is going to be, I kind of forgot the date. That's going to be like next week somewhere. So make sure that you prepare your renders, you do like additional bits of polish if needed. And then join us when it's time to post. So we try to have like a massive flood of these things go out and then have everyone react to like everyone's work as well and try to make it into like a big event. And lastly, don't forget to save your source files as well before we shut down the access. But yeah, again, massive shout out to all the people that participated, all the people who mentored. I really appreciate like all your time, all your effort, and really making time to help the team. And because I saw so many people, so many mentors specifically jumping into the chat like more than they actually needed to, right? You had like the weekly meeting, but we saw so many people jumping in to help the team out, which was amazing. So these results are also built by like your support. So massive shout out to all the mentors that participated. And lastly, thank you both for being here today as well, Angelo and Leah. I really appreciate your time too. And being so diligent with like all the scoring, because yeah, that's also not an easy job, you know? So thank you so much for being here too.
Thank you for having us. And yeah, it was really hard to choose so many amazing entries.
Yeah, it really is. It's just every time the bar just gets lifted, just because people, it's 5 weeks, you get thrown together with like 4 random other people, and then you make like kick-ass environments like we saw today. Like that is just crazy to think about, because that is an incredibly short amount of time. But yeah, yes. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks so much for participating. And yeah, we'll keep you posted for when the next one happens. Thank you, and bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.